In this video, I will talk about two undiscovered animals and an undiscovered plant. Starting with Natantes aquaticus. Natantes aquaticus survived the connection extinction event. Natantes aquaticus is a fully aquatic natantid with many bizarre capabilities. One of which being underwater echolocation. A small organ protrudes from behind aquaticus's beak, and this will rattle extremely loudly, much louder than Claris chymex's rattles. The sound waves bounce off the walls of its unique environment, being underwater caves. The sound waves bounce off the cave walls and enter its quite complex, waterproof ear. Many hairs covered in a fatty substance prevent water from flooding the ears, giving Natantes aquaticus better hearing and technically allowing it to see, being the only not completely blind natantid so far. Aquaticus's tail membrane is able to store oxygen. Since Aquaticus has no gill-like structure, the oxygen can only last up to 7 hours, still giving Aquaticus plenty of time. But occasionally Aquaticus does come out of its cave to breathe air and dive back into the soda. Aquaticus has powerful muscles in its tail, allowing it to swim in bursts of speed. Aquaticus is both a predator and a scavenger, dragging carcasses of bigger animals like Trandifer and Caerula marani into the soda and in its cave where Aquaticus and its many friends will go into a feeding frenzy like piranhas. Aquaticus will also eat smaller animals like Pennaarmi sucicibolus and thanks to its beak before it went extinct, Amethysta pfister. Aquaticus reproduces by leaving its cave and going into a shallow portion of the creek or lake, laying its eggs there. Males will come by to fertilize the eggs and guard them until they hatch. Afterward, the male leaves and the babies attempt survival. But my favorite part about Natantes aquaticus is that it was the first but far from last viewer-suggested organism. Say thanks to Tomato on my Discord. The next animal is Toxicus caniculum. Toxicus caniculum is a 60s cup decomposer that survived the connection extinction event. Toxicus burrows underground similar to earthworms. Unlike earthworms, it uses a flap to push soil behind itself. The main course of their diet is dead plants, first taste testing the root to see if the plant is actually dead. If so, Toxicus will eat the roots and then the stem and leaves. But if desperate, Toxicus will also eat rotting flesh and feces. Toxicus is quite poisonous, having a toxin that in small doses causes muscle spasms and impaired movement, and in large doses like eating Toxicus can cause total temporary muscle paralysis by blocking sodium channels to the muscles. So to help avoid being eaten, Toxicus is a recognizable yellow with brown spots, and smells like feces. To mate, a male and female will meet at some dead plant's roots, and the female will lay her eggs under the roots and the male will fertilize them. Toxicus is a distant relative of the false plants and Sosolto parasitae, a middle ground between the two. The first undiscovered plant is Dendroflora, who did survive the connection extinction event. Dendroflora lives in caves, making it already a very distinct plant and can even grow upside down. Dendroflora has no photogears, blue chlorophyll, or normal chlorophyll, being a pale white shrub. There was very little ground dust for Dendroflora to take root in, so instead it grows directly in pure sugar, getting all of its energy from that. Dendroflora needs almost no soda, needing about 1/8 of the soda that Angoradicatus needs. Instead of leaves, Dendroflora has many smaller stems that spiral and intertwine with each other. These stems have holes for releasing clumps of spores at the end of their life. After releasing all of its spores, Dendroflora will die after about 2 days. Dendroflora is slightly concerning about the fact that over the years, the caves Dendroflora grows in slowly grow wider and wider and lose more and more sugar, an irreplaceable resource for the cup's ecosystem. Dendroflora's spores are extremely flammable and burn just like gunpowder. And that's all the undiscovered species for this episode.